Yeah, it looks like a good spot for him too. At least my eyes were right. That was oyster on the satellite. I mean, if they're back here, they gotta be sitting in one of these little deep spots. There's some good bait up here too. Fish it hard, get in there. Get all that out of there.
So many little pockets back here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Gotta be patient.
Do it.
I said I gotta be patient. I jerked it right away from him. He missed it.
What was it?
Look like a trout.
That's what I thought. Whatever happened to, I guess.
There he is. Come on, get it.
The meetups got kind of canceled. The corona.
Come on, you keep missing it.
They are waxing it too.
Come on. I gotta stop talking. There we go.
Right on.
He was short. Yeah, right straight there, about 50 feet. I can't make the cast.
Dead phone where you see where the wind's hitting and you got a slick.
Yep, he's on this side. Was on this side of the slick. Looked like a good trout.
Can you reach it?
Not with that wind.
Whatever you do, make sure you let the boat kind of get half stopped before you hit that button.
Yeah. Nice little trout. Whee! He was short too.
I want it so bad. I want it so bad.
He almost came all the way to the boat. It's another good tip for you guys when you're using these top waters like this. Reel it all the way in until you can see underneath the lure. And if I would have stopped and reeled that guy all the way up real quick like I normally do, I would have missed that little hit. Now he didn't take it, but if he would have, I would have been able to shore up my story a little better. All right, margarita lime trout trick, Z-Man, elastic. This is just a mustad grip pin hook. I've got an 1/8 ounce pinched on, so it gives me a little bit more weight to keep me down. Just stab right through the top. Work it up and over. Up and over. Now you see how difficult it is to move this product up and over, and it still doesn't rip the material. That's what's so great about it. That's why we talk about this stuff lasting and being relatively inexpensive for how long the product's going to last. So once you have it like that, just pull back and get you a little bit of a skin hook. All that skin hooking's doing is just kind of covering up the point of that hook. Now you're nice and weedless. So there you go, 3.5 inch bait presentation. Oh, this looks good back here. All these oysters still. Money. Give it down. So as I'm working this hook, or working this lure down that little alleyway there, it's full of oysters on the bottom. Good thing to do is just kind of keep slow rolling it and keep bumping it so it doesn't get a chance to sit down. Now with these belly weight hooks like this, it's gonna skim across the tops of the oysters a lot better than that Texas eye jig that I've been talking about. So it just gives you something different to throw. But if you feel like you're starting to get hung up, just kind of give it a couple little taps, lift up taps on the rod tip, and just keep reeling. Because the minute you stop, it's going to sit down, and then you're going to get hung, and then you got to go either rescue or break off and retie. There's one. Oh, come on back. Yeah, he took it under. There you are. Yeah, I got him. I get you. I got you, little guy. You're a little ambitious going after that. I'm gonna have to get up off the ground, off my seat. Jeez. One guy's fired up. There you are. There you go. There's a nice trout. All right, gotcha. He's mad. Let's take a look at this guy. Good looking little trout. He'll definitely measure out. Nose to tail, 16 inches. All right, so I got that nice 16-inch trout. Got a nice little slurry down here for him. You guys just put a little bit of water in your ice like this, make a little slurry. Keeps the fish nice and cold. That way until you get home or even the next day when you want to fillet him out, he'll fillet up really nice and the meat will taste nice and clean as well. Now I caught that fish. Let me take my buff off. I'll show you guys the setup here. This is a bomber popper cork. It's got that concave head, so it makes a little bit of a chug along with the click. Now you notice this thing is really bendy, this wire. That's why I like these, because those wires don't get bent and stay bent. It gets bent and it comes right back straight. 30-pound, 18 to 24 inch or so leader material. And this is that voodoo shrimp that I talked about before. Now I go ahead and I sauce them out with ProCure. You can stick the ProCure right into this little cavity here, in the tail, into the legs, anything to put that little bit of scent or flavor out in the water for the fish. So when they grab a hold of it, they taste a little bit of deliciousness, and it makes them not want to let go as fast. So that's it. And we are out here in the Sound. Earlier today, we were kind of creeping around, exploring some waters, trying to get up into some of these little back creeks and see if we see life. And as you guys saw in the video, we saw tons of oyster, tons of bait, but no redfish. So, I mean, it happens to me, it happens to all of us. Just because it looks fishy doesn't mean the fish are always there. Now, these trout we're catching around out here, we're about 20 yards, 30 yards off of the grassline shoreline. And that's it, popping cork out here in the open water. Now we got, you know, grass and the baits all in here. So it's a good combination, you guys. Definitely add this to your spots list. Look for these types of spots. All right, you guys, that's gonna wrap it up for today's episode. Me and my buddy Steve set out with a plan to explore new waters in search of redfish, flounder, and trout. Now, a couple nights prior, him and I started dissecting an area using a satellite imagery map, and we were searching for oyster beds. We were searching for creeks around the sound, because that is the trend for catching redfish, flounder, and trout easier this time of year, especially with it being warmer and whatnot. And we got into some back creeks. We located a lot of bait. We found the structure that we saw and thought was there, and we even caught a couple trout. We didn't have much time to fish today, so we just pulled back out to the sound, the mouth of the creek that empties into the sound, and we hooked into a couple good sized little small trout. So I got some trout to fry for dinner. It's gonna make the wife and the family happy. I was able to check a couple boxes, and hopefully you guys got something out of this episode. So that's what I want you guys to be able to do, is just to take a little bit of a mental nugget from each video that I put out, put that in your tackle box and use it the next time you go out. Try something different, and you may learn to catch fish a different way than you've always caught them in the past. So you guys, thank you for the support. I appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the subscriptions, all the feedback that you're giving me. It's all good. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and I hope you guys stay along for the ride. So for now, I'm Dan from Savannah. Take care and God bless.